Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Undead Unluck episode number 7 reaction. So the previous episode we were on our first mission. We have to capture spoil and we came to the place called Longing. I think that was the name. And it was like a little like an island kind of place with like being like people being there. And since it was like a little island kind of thing, a lot of people were entrapped there who became zombies, and all these zombies like came out and tried to attack us and everything. um Andy took care of most of them except a few who were not as zombified as the others. So out of them there was one girl who wasn't really that zombified, and she had like a dream of you know getting like married or something. That's why she wanted Andy to do that, and in return she's going to help Andy out and point him towards the direction of spoil. And while all of that is happening, Foucault gets involved with the like a few kids who were like a victim of this situation, while Andy over there, you know, identifies spoils with the help of that zombie girl. And yeah, now we're going to have a little fight here. So let's see what happens. So this is episode number 7. Let's get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference. And let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, he told the zombies to attack spoil. The zombies who have at least a little bit of consciousness. Hmm. What? Hmm. Yep. Oh, there you go. Game. Sunflower Nursery School. Hmm. Yeah. Right. You guys. Yeah. Also, why are they like an underground? One. Oh. Okay. A little flashback. Sunflower. Okay, the Sunflower Nursery School they called it. Oh, this was their city. Wow. Wait, is that her? That's her, isn't it? The girl, the zombie girl? What the? Ugh. Yeah, that's her. Um, the girl, the zombie girl. Oh, yeah. Wait, how did she survive then? Like everyone turned, but Oh, that also makes sense. Since she survived for a moment, that's why she's still not completely lost her mind. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. That's her. So, like I said, so since she's turned a bit later, that's why she's still able to keep her sanity and also her dream of getting married, probably. Okay. Okay, here's the thing. In the previous episode, I said that maybe the timer has something to do with their age. I feel like that's the situation because they said, like, all the other people in this town, they got zombified before that girl. I'm guessing the girl was a lot younger compared to all the other adults in this place. Maybe that's why there was a time lag. And these kids are the youngest. So that's why they still haven't gotten turned. I don't know, I might be wrong. It won't surprise me if the timer is related to their age. The younger you are, the bigger the timer. Hmm. August 24th. Now we are here. Hmm. Yeah. Oh no. Wait, what? Why is her timer so low compared to the others? Wait, weren't that timer like 9,000 or something we saw? Hmm. Oh, I should have guessed this. The more they have. Oh, that is why the lady took. Yeah, like positive feelings or something like that. Okay, that's why the girl had a bigger like time limit than all the others because she was filled with positivity or something like that. Damn, this guy looks like a Titan from Attack on Titan. What the hell? So, not positivity, but like wish for the future or something like that. Like that probably increases the timer. Hmm. Take care. Oh, there you go. They'll recognize her. Uh, yeah. He can. Yep. Yeah, zombified, but you know. Mm. 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 Oh, is she going to? Yeah, because her wish came true. Maybe that's why. What the? Br- oh no. Oh. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's working. The unlock, even though they're zombies. Yeah. Go. Oh no. Damn. Mm. Yeah, and after seeing her, everyone else will also do it. Hmm. Wait, he's closing both his eyes. Yeah, because like, oh my god. Oh, oh, that's unlock. Oh, oh my god. Oh, it's a gunpowder. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, he's still. Mm. And the impact was more because Foucault was a lot more, I guess you could say, like emotional towards the girl, even though they met barely for a moment. But like I can understand the girl, but these zombies are like completely unknown to her. Would it wouldn't be that much effective, but I guess since everyone is going at the same time, like it's a collective effort. Like quantity versus quality kind of thing. Now these will be smaller unlock, yeah. However, since there's so many of them, that will add up to be like a huge. Mm, damn. What? Oh. Well, just think about like positive. I'm not positive, but like no great. Mm. Oh my God! What the? Yo! What? Uh, but oh my God! He ate everyone. What the? What is that? Is he turning like into a cloud of? Oh no! He's transforming. Wait, what? Oh my God! Okay, nah, man. What the hell? He looks more humanoid now. Rule. Okay. All inorganic matter aside from living things. Oh, I see. Okay. But if you like, like have like good thoughts about the future, like like hope about the future, probably increases the timer. Hmm. Oh my God. Oh, he did something. Shen. Whoa, bro. Oh my God. Shen used. Yeah, it has something to do with her eyes, her power, his power. Oh boy, he can talk. He's wearing the. Hmm. Oh great, he can fly now. Fantastic. Oh no. Ah! Good God. Yeah. Yeah. No timer anymore. Hmm. Like the whole body won't. Yeah. Wait, Clothes, what the hell? So you cannot even go close to him. Yeah. Ugh. Hmm. Hmm. Really? Suppose. Okay. I think he's a plan. Wait, one thing. Why is Fuko not getting affected by the? Damn. Wow. Yeah, he's saying like you guys are the one who only oppose me. Like everything in nature naturally spoils, but you are. Oh, timer. Yeah, it's going to go up again. It's going to go up the timer. Yep. Dream. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. The timer went up. Oh, she negated the whole. Oh wait. He got his like weapon. Bah! Ah, went up. Oh damn! Wait, what the? That's a lot. He has quite a big dream. That means. Damn, like Fuko's like reached like 20,000 or something, and he's like went above 20,000, like 50,000 or something. It went. Okay. Hmm. All right, that is it. So that was episode number 7. Yeah, episode number 7. Um, so in this episode, what happens is that we get to know the I guess you could say the little recollection we got to see about this place, about that girl, and her students, and we got to know one of the, I guess you could say, the rules, or like how this whole spoil works. So basically, you need to have like hope or a dream for the future. Not hope. I wouldn't say hope, but a dream. Because I think like that was literally the name of this episode, dream. So like something like that, and I guess that would mean the as long as you have a dream and you keep that in mind, you won't spoil. Even if your timer goes down, it's going to go back up. Just like that, the teacher also, I guess, because she had like a bigger dream, or like at least like some sort of a dream, she survived for a lot longer than everyone else in this place. Like her dream was probably a bigger one, and she told all the kids to keep dreaming, and by doing that the kids were also able to consistently keep their timers up. And whenever like one of the kids were getting scared or like losing all hope, the elder kid, the most older kid, he would try to cheer them up and make them remember of their dream. And as soon as he did that, the timers went up again, just like that little girl when he was like, "Oh, what do you want to become in the future?" And she's like, "Oh, I want to like make it like a flower shop or something." She says something like that, and there you go. That's when the timer went up again. And we get to see the same thing later as well when Fuko talks about her dream, and Shen also talks about her dream. Both of the like timers go up, and that's how it works. So a few other things that we got to see in this episode. Number one is how everyone worked together to try to take down Spoil by touching Fuko. And I was like, obviously the fact that the biggest damage that Spoil got was when he confronted that girl, the zombie girl. The reason behind it is obviously pretty obvious. It was that since Foucault, in that brief amount of time, since he got to know the teacher a little bit more, her, I guess you could say, affection for her grew in a considerably a bigger amount than all the other random zombies. Like all the other random zombies are just random zombies, like they were touching her and they were like making small unlocks. For example, that first like random zombie that touched her or bumped into her, like that zombie like somehow made the thing, the board, on top fall, and it fall on the head. That was a very little unluck. Compared to that, when the zombie girl like hugged Fuko, number one, obviously, like I guess the surface of contact was a lot more. Like she literally hugged her, and also Fuko took out her glass and then touched her. So that's number one reason for why I guess the unluck was bigger. Another reason was obviously the fact that Fuko knew about the background of this lady. She knew after talking to those kids that this lady has been keeping them safe. She gave them hope, and like all these information back, like I guess you could say a little bit of a backstory that she got to know about the teacher made her a lot more empathetic towards her and a lot more affectionate towards her compared to the other random zombies who she doesn't even properly know. So that is why her unluck was a lot bigger, when she went and like went towards the spoil literally fell down on a gunpowder factory, I think, and the whole place blew up. Compared to that, all the other zombies that she was like touching later on, their explosions were way lesser because obviously she didn't really know them and wasn't really as affectionate towards them as that zombie lady. So yeah, however, it still worked out even though the unlocks were smaller, because it's basically like quantity versus quality. There's so many of them that small little unlocks also kind of added up into like a big thing. like so many zombies, like small little, carrying small little unlucks, you know, added up to be like a big thing, and you know, like the spoil got affected by it. So that's how it worked as far as I could understand, you know. Now, what else? Another thing, I feel like this episode gave us a lot of hints about what Shen's ability is. I'm still not really sure what the particulars of his ability is, but it's pretty obvious that it has something to do with his eyes. He like sometimes keeps both his eyes open, sometimes he closes one, sometimes he closes both. You know, I don't know exactly how it works, but obviously I'm pretty sure it's tied to that. You know, it is somehow tied to. Okay, you know what? I feel like I can deduce. I feel like I can easily deduce what the eye, like, you know, like how he. Okay, wait a minute. You know what I think? Where's that part? There was a section where he like closes both the eyes. You know that when that kid was trying to go and save his teacher. I think that part. You know, like where's that part? The teacher is running. You know, and Spoil comes and attacks him, attacks her. Where is that part? Was it that part where he closed both his eyes? Wait a minute. Was it a little bit earlier? I think it was a little bit earlier. Wait a minute. Yeah, he's running towards his teacher, and then suddenly stops. He cannot move, and you can see Shen is closing both his eyes. So my guess is his power has something to do with senses, or not senses, but maybe movement, motor function, maybe. Like, but I still am not sure about the eye thing. Like, he sometimes closes one eye, sometimes closes two eyes, and sometimes he keeps both the eyes open. So that's what I'm trying to think. Like, hmm. Okay, you know what? Okay, here's the thing. There was another section when he used his power. When Spoil was going to use his like beam or whatever, um, he had his eyes closed, and the beam tried to go, yeah, go and you know hit them, and you can see his hand like moves. He opens one eye. At first, he was closing both the eyes, and then he opens one eye. His hand completely moves on the other direction. So it's pretty obvious. It controls motor function, like movement of legs, movement of hands, you know, stuff like that. However, we still don't know what the eyes do. So he like controls the movement through his eyes. You know, by closing both the eyes before, as we see in this episode, he was able to stop the kid from moving. By opening the eye, he is able to make the hand of Spoil move in a particular direction. So it's something like that, I guess. Anyways, you know what? Like, let me just wait. I'm sure they'll just explain it in the upcoming episode. But either way, it's pretty obvious it has something to do with movement of hands and legs. And he controls it by, you know, opening and closing his eyes. And he himself said it before in the previous episode that there's a certain like a range where he can do it. You know, if he's able to see you in that certain range, he can do it. Otherwise, he cannot. So yeah, I feel like if I just go back to the first episode, or was it the second episode, where oh no, it was the first episode, where, or was it? No, that was the second episode. Sorry. If you go back, if I go back to a second episode and try to see what he's doing with his eyes while fighting Andy, Void was there and he was like controlling Fuko's movements and Andy's movements. I feel like I can understand what his eyes do. How does it exactly work? But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait for the upcoming episodes. Anyways, that's another thing we got to know here. What else? Was there any extra information we got? Oh, um, Spoil said something like the death negator, which is pretty obvious, like Andy, can negate that. That's why he's an undead. He is still alive. So yeah, so that means the negators, they can negate a rule. They can negate a rule. I guess this was already like explained previously, but it's pretty obvious now that the negators can negate a rule. That is why they're named a negator. All these rules or all these penalties, as they call it, these are like different stuff like death, like gender, all these things. So negators are someone who can negate one of these rules. For Andy, it's death. For is there anyone else we know? Anyone else's power we know? Oh, Foucault. For Foucault, it's luck. Foucault literally negates luck. That is why she, like, whoever touches her becomes unlucky. I think, yeah. Yeah, she negates luck. And Foucault is someone I remember them saying who is like a external negator. Is that what they call them? Where other people get affected by her power, unlike Andy, who himself is affected by his own power. Gina was also someone whose power affected others, not herself. And Gina was unchanged, so like she negated change in matter, like can literally like freeze like like things solid and stuff. So right. So yeah, and like just like that, I can probably guess that Shen is probably a negator of movement or something like that, unmove or something like that. Maybe that's the name of his his power, something along that, I'm guessing. So okay, right. Jewis, we kind of got to see Jewis's power, but I think like wait a minute, isn't Jewis's power very similar to Shen then? You can literally like she was literally controlling Andy, and I'm sure there's some difference between it. We still don't know. We don't really know the nature of their power. But Juice's power is kind of similar, isn't it? Like she made Andy like point his blade towards Foucault, while Billy pointed his gun towards. Oh no, sorry. Not Billy. The other, the girl, the machine girl. The big eyeball kind of thing. I don't remember that thing that tried to attack Andy. She pointed her attack towards Billy. So yeah, probably something. Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm guessing Juice's power is more in the fundamental sense that she can literally control others, while Shen's power is probably something not fundamentally where you can control them, but you can literally like make their movement change. You're not really controlling them, but changing the movement. That's how they're different, I'm guessing. But yeah, interesting. So it's pretty obvious now. They explained it before, but now we have a proper understanding that negators negate a rule. That's why they're called negators. And all these yumas and all these these rules that are being like introduced, they are basically things that happen like in our world, in this world I'm talking about, not the undead unluck world. I'm talking about our world. Everything that is like normal, like for example everything, like there's a lot of things that spoils here, that in itself is a UMA in this world, and certain things that are very like normal here in our world, like death, gender, language, all these things, these are actually like rules that have been introduced in this world. And there's negators who negates a certain rule. One negator negates one rule, I'm guessing, and it depends. And and we are completing all these quests to take care, to make sure that more rules or restrictions doesn't get invoked, and we can stop that, and maybe we can get our hands on more negators who negates other rules. For example, if we complete this mission, as far as I remember, we will get to know the location of Unrepair, who is also another negator who negates a rule, which is repair. I'm guessing that's why he's called Unrepair. So getting more negators obviously will help us in our mission. So that's why it's like a reward. And yeah, and if we're able to complete all these quests within a certain amount of time, every 3 months, I'm guessing, you know, then we will be able to stop God from creating more rules and invoking them. For example, these quests that have been given to us, if you're not able to complete this in 3 months, Galaxy will be introduced. I think that's what they said. Galaxy as a rule will be introduced. So in this world, there's no Galaxy. So if we are able to complete all these, not complete all these missions, Galaxy will be introduced. I'm guessing like, you know, sun and star will start popping up. Wait, no, we do have the sun here. We have the moon. That means we must have the star. We must have the sun. It's just that we don't have stars. That's kind of interesting now that I think about it. Like if there's no stars, why does the sun even exist? You know, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, because if you think about it, sun is also a star, you know, a big ball of flames, I guess, and you know. So, you know what? Yeah, whatever. I'm sure they'll all explain it. But yeah, that's what's happening. All right, this show has a very interesting premise. It's probably one of the most unique premises I've seen in anime. Period. You know, it's such an interesting premise. It's such an interesting like a thing. Like in the beginning episode, we didn't really realize that this is how this show is. It was like the fourth episode, or was it the third episode? That we like. At first, it was kind of weird when we got to see there's no stars in the sky, and Gina were talking about, and Fuko was like, "Oh, the sun and moon looked lonely, so I gave them stars." You know, where a lot of people probably felt a little bit like, "Wait a minute, what? Stars? There's no stars here." You know, and then the next episode like immediately gave us all the information as to what's going on, and then we were like, "Damn, this is so different." You know. This isn't the world that we're familiar with. Yeah, I feel like, you know, like that's such a cool like a thing. I love that. I love the premise of this show. It's one of the most unique premises. So yeah. All right. Anyways, so yeah, that was this episode. It was a great episode. We will be continuing our battle next week. So let's see. All right, now I'm going to be switching in a more scene by scene way of discussion. In the beginning part of this episode, we get to see Shen and Fuko in front of the kids, and Fuko's asking the kids like, "Oh, like, you know, like, can you tell me everything? Why this happened and how this happened?" And they're like, "Oh, we are from the Sunflower Nursery School or something like that." He said, and you can see the teacher, the lady, and the kids were like, you know, they were like just, you know, like happy, like moving around the town. That is when Spoil came in. And yeah, Spoil started spoiling everything, just like his name says. And like I was saying, this part I was kind of like, wait a minute, why did everyone spoil but not the teacher and the kids? I can understand the kids not spoiling because like at that point of time I was thinking like, oh, maybe it has something to do with their age. The younger they are, the more the timer they have, you know. And you know, that's why I was thinking, oh, maybe the teacher was a lot younger than a lot of the other people, but that would be a very sloppy, like, you know, like a very sloppy like that would be like a loophole to the whole thing. That wasn't the case, you know. It would be weird if that was the theory, because, you know, like yeah, it doesn't make sense. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people younger than the teacher but older than the kids. If you use that theory, then they should be, you know, they should still not have been spoiled up until now. So it didn't make sense. But at that point of time, I was thinking maybe that's how it worked. You know, maybe the age has something to do with it. No, it's not the age. But we get to know later on the reason link behind the high timer is because of a dream. If a person has a dream, you know, they will have a bigger timer. If the timer goes down and if the dream rekindles in them, it's going to go up again. So as long as you have a dream, it's going to stay up. That is why the teacher, it took a lot of time for the teacher to spoil, I'm guessing. She kept probably hanging in, you know, up until the end, but then probably, like, you know, like, unfortunately, the timer went down. Maybe she wasn't able to continue having a dream. Maybe she like gave up, just like that little girl gave up almost, and the boy was like, oh, like, what's your dream? And it boosted up again. Maybe something like that happened, you know, like she's a human. You know, seeing this whole situation, seeing how all the zombies, like, you know, are beside her, there's nobody to help her. She probably got like a little bit depressed or something suddenly. Like in a moment of time, her, like, she probably went down completely, and that was all it needed for the timer to go down to zero, and that's why like she became a zombie. But the reason why she's completely not spoiled is because obviously I'm guessing because it is she had a bigger dream than anyone else in this place, and that's why she was able to keep persisting up until the end. And yeah, so there you go. Then the timer went zero. She became she took the kids and she gave, like, put them in the basement, the sewer, and she was like, "You guys stay here and always remember that, like, keep your dreams alive." And she's like, "Don't worry, I won't become a zombie. I have a big dream, and listen, until I get married, I'm not spoiling." Yeah, and so that was the story. She told all of that to the kids told all of that to Foucault. Foucault, now knowing the situation, like, and like, I'm guessing, like, since the older kid was saying all of this to Foucault, the little girl, she hearing this, she probably got scared. She probably, like, lost all, like, hope for the future, and that is why the timer probably went down rapidly, because we saw that the timer was quite big. you know so like, maybe listening to all of that, like, made her think, like, oh no, like, like, sometimes it happens, like, what can we do now? We're all doomed. There's no future for us. Maybe it's all that thoughts made the timer go down rapidly, and the elder kid quickly was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, like, don't you remember what our teacher used to tell us, like that, like, what do you want to be? You want to be a florist, don't you? You want to sell flowers when you grow up?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want to be, like, like a florist. I want to sell sunflowers." And as soon as she, like, reconfirmed her dream, and she, like, became hopeful again for the future, the timer went up again. And yeah, so this is how you keep yourself alive, um which is interesting, because if you think about it like that, then I guess this whole thing, this spoil, is pretty easy to counteract it. You just need to have, like, hope for the future and a dream. But for people who really are not that hopeful, or who probably are not that, doesn't have that much of a dream, they are kind of screwed in that type of situation. Because obviously not everyone has a dream, and not everyone is hopeful for their future. There must be people like that, and as soon as they start spoiling, I feel like the other people seeing that, they'll probably lose hope for the future as well. It becomes like a chain reaction, and everyone starts spoiling one after the other. Even the most hopeful person, if you might be, like, the most hopeful person with a big dream, but if you see everyone beside you turning into a zombie, your hope will go out the window. You lose your dream. You completely go down. Your whole mood will go down, and that's all it takes for you to spoil. That's why I'm saying it's like a chain reaction. There only requires one person to spoil, and this is going to become like a whole chain reaction. And that is why, like, it's pretty tricky to keep this at bay. Even if you know how to counter it, it's pretty tricky to keep it at bay. Like, obviously, like, not every person in this world is a shonen character. Shonen manga slash anime character. Shonen manga slash anime characters have a lot of dreams, and they have a lot of hope for the future. Unfortunately, the real world doesn't work like that. A lot of people have a lot of things, like, going on, and it just takes one person to lose all hope, and bam, that person becomes a zombie. Everyone seeing that loses their hope, and they become a zombie as well. It's like a whole chain reaction. So yeah, anyways, so okay, while all of this is happening, up on top, something crazy is going on. Shen and Foucault peeks and takes a look outside and sees Andy fighting, and he's like using all the zombies, using all the help from the zombies, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are here, come on, catch my bride," and throws her towards Shen. Shen grabs her, and Foucault sees that, and Foucault realizes that this is the same lady that these kids were talking about. And the kids see her, and the kids are like, "Oh, teacher, you're back." And, like, they, like, hug her and everything. And the teacher is trying to speak. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, she was saying, like, "Thank you." And like, Foucault realized that, oh, maybe this is it, because her dream was to get married, and it did kind of happen. So like, her wish did come true. Now, after that, while all of this is happening and Fuko is overwhelmed by all of this, a random zombie touches her or bumps into her, and then he gets squished under the thing, foil. But in that process, the sign on top of a building falls on top of foil. So obviously they realize that this is one way we can take care of this situation. Andy realizes what they should do. He should do. So Andy's like, all you zombies, if you want to help us, come on, go and touch the girl. You'll all become a like a zombified bomb, and that's going to help us out. Now, saying this obviously wouldn't really work most of the time, because who the hell wants to make themselves a bomb? Even though they are zombies, they still have a consciousness, you can see. But I feel like him saying this wouldn't have really worked unless and until the zombie girl did that. Like, if the zombie girl didn't do that, I feel like none of the other zombies would have probably done it. Like, since they saw the zombie girl doing it, they also decided to do it. I think yeah. And the first person that took action was the girl, the teacher. She comes and hugs, you can see Fuko's like, what the hell are you saying, Andy? Even if they're zombies, they don't want to, but it gets interrupted. The girl comes and hugs her, and Fuko realizes that all the girl wants is to help the kids out, and that's why she's ready to do this, and she's ready to have the maximum unluck. So again, like I said, since Fuko knows about the girl's background and knows the girl a little bit more personally than everyone else in this place, her affection for her was a bit more, and she directly hugged her, and she also directly touched her. So she became like the biggest source of unluck for for Spoil, comparing her to all the other zombies that became the source of unluck for it. Those are smaller unlucks. Her Fuko was way more affectionate towards her than all the others. That is why she became the biggest source of unluck. And again, I'm pretty sure the fact that she did that at that time and she rushed off towards Spoil and went towards him and triggered the unluck made all the other zombies change their mind as well, or they also started doing the same thing. Yeah. So you can see here, that's what happens. She hugs Fuko, and Fuko's crying. Fuko takes out the glove and touches her as well, and she's then off towards Spoil. The kids were trying to go and follow her, but Shen stops them using his power most probably. And yeah, the girl goes off, and you can see this part was really nice. There's it's made it seem like it's like a field of sunflowers she was running through, and yeah, she goes and towards Spoil. Spoil attacks her, but then loses its balance, falls on the gunpowder factory, and just gets blown up. However, it's not enough. It was the biggest source of unluck at that point. Still, it wasn't enough. So, and he's like, all of you zombies here, come on, touch Fuko and do it. And all the other zombies, seeing the teacher do that, they also got motivated to do it, and they started running towards Spoil, and Fuko starts touching all of them. And like I said, the source of unluck wasn't really that big this time around, but again, quantity versus quality kind of situation. There's so many of them that little amounts of unluck amounted to a big unluck. So all of them started going and exploding in front of him somehow or the other, triggering all the explosions. And yeah, Spoil was getting completely battered by it. Still, it wasn't really enough, because we don't have the liberty of taking our time for this. And Shen and Fuko's timer are going down rapidly. When Andy realizes what's going on, he's like, all right, let's just kill it then. But Shen is like, no, we have to capture it, otherwise it'll be bad. While they're having all this conversation, Spoil starts sucking in all the zombies, And yeah, like that, I guess you can probably counteract the unluck, because she literally ate them. Yeah, and as soon as he ate them, he started transforming. And he transformed into more humanoid form version of him. And yeah, he has wings now, and like he's looking way more dangerous than he was. So for a momentary amount of time, Shen and Andy talk about what to do with this situation. So Shen asks Andy that, do you know about the rule? What's going on? So he's like, yeah, I kind of understand the rules now. And yeah, so basically the rules are that, anything that this spoil touches, they get a timer, and the timer counts down. As soon as it counts down, they spoil. If it touches any non-living thing, it immediately spoils. If it's a living thing, they get a timer. Also, you can counteract that by having hopes for the future and a dream for the future. As soon as you have that, as soon as you reconfirm your hopes and dreams for the future, you can increase the timer again. So there you go. Right, so now that Spoil has gone into second stage, he's literally like, shooting like finger beams. But Shen takes care of that by changing the direction of it. Yeah. So, okay, now here's the thing. Right. Mui suddenly contacts them and says that the attack exceeded the parameters of the spoil rule. Don't let it hit you, because this time you're just going to get vaporized. There's no timer thing going on here. Since he's in second stage, if any of the beams hit you, you're going to rot away. So that's a problem. That's a bigger problem now. So yeah. So now we actually have to dodge all his attacks. So like he almost gets Fuko and Shen. Shen got saved because he had like the thing, the hand glove thing. That got disintegrated. While Fuko, Andy saved her, and Andy's hand got like disintegrated, but he can just chop it off and make out another. So for Andy it's okay, but Shen almost got rotted. But yeah, but there's one thing that is good, that like it targets the parts, not your whole body won't rot. If your whole body rots at the same time and gets disintegrated, that would be a problem even for Andy. Since it's parts, he can literally chop off that part and a new one will come out. So it's fine still in that department. But it is still a dangerous attack, and who knows what might happen. Like Andy might actually die this time if if he lets this go further forward. So you cannot really drag this thing, as Andy realizes. Andy's like, I cannot drag this. Fuko is in constant danger, and so what should I do in this situation? Another thing they get to know when Andy gets close to it, that you don't even need to touch it or get beamed by it. The closer you get to it, the more you'll rot. And that's what's happening to Andy. Now, there's one thing I'm not really sure about, which I still don't understand. He says that the closer you get to him, you'll rot. Where's that part? Living things spoil just by getting close to it. I don't understand one thing then. Fuko was dangerously close to spoil after this. Why did anything not happen to her? And was it because she was like filled with dreams for the future? Is that why she didn't get spoiled? I'm guessing that was the reason. Because when she reconfirms her dream for the future, you can see all those like particles of spoil that was like moving around, those dust particles thing, they get completely cleared up. So I'm guessing the rule is still the same. If you have hopes and for the dream, and if you have a dream, you can negate this. So I'm guessing that is why, even though spoil went so close to her, nothing really happened to her, because her hopes and dreams for the future negated the spoil effect. Unlike Andy, I'm guessing, like, because obviously Andy doesn't really have any type of dream for the future. Maybe there's only one dream, which is to die. Like, you cannot really say that's a dream for the future or a hope, because eventually everyone's going to die. Unlike Andy though. But yeah, so if you think about it like that, I guess you could say Andy doesn't really have a dream. So maybe that is why he was getting so much affected by spoil. Unlike Fuko, who got so dangerously close to spoil, still it didn't work because of Fuko's dream, I'm guessing. Shen as well. Shen also has a dream. So Okay, Spoiled says that given like the regeneration rate, I doubt he will be able to keep up with me. You two there are still waiting to spoil, I see. Okay, I'm going to read this section. He says quite a few interesting things. For my birth brought with it a beautiful cycle of life. Okay. And you'll indulge in it while it is still alive. While still alive. Shen rushes off and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Andy, I'm going to step away for a second. I'm guessing he went to get his weapon or something." Okay, how futile, even if you run beyond my area, okay, all that stuff. Okay, so Paul says, the world before my birth was oh so stagnant. Everything grew uglier and uglier without decay. I brought about change in the form of spoil. And what happened? Living beings started fighting to remain longer. They thought, they grew. Right. It is a necessary rule. Hmm. You humans are the only beings who reject me, branding me as an evil entity. This is such an interesting conversation. He talks about stagnation and spoiling away, which is literally the reason behind how you can counter his power is literally having dreams. So dreams of the future are stuff that makes you change. If you think about it, he denotes stagnation. That is why anyone who stagnate or stagnated, they'll spoil away. But Foucault here, who's filled with dreams, her like dreams and all that, they are completely opposite to stagnation. People who have dreams, they always work towards something. They're never stagnant. Unlike, as he says, that the world before me is so stagnant. People just became uglier and uglier. So I became a change for them. I spoiled them and made it like a beautiful circle of life. You know, so and he also says that you human beings are the only beings that try to go against me, because humans try to, like most of the humans, they have dreams for their future. They always keep doing things because of the short amount lifespan. Human beings try to achieve as much as they can in that small amount of life. So stagnation is the last thing that human beings, like are doing. Most of the human beings aren't stagnant, they keep changing. That is why he's saying like human beings are completely opposite to me, because they are not stagnated. They try to change, they try to change the world. It's continuously changing, which is going completely against what I denote, that is stagnation and spoil. So yeah, it makes sense. Even the reasoning behind how you can counter his power makes sense, because again, like I said, it's not like dream power in shonen anime. This reason, this thing at least have a reason. Since he denotes stagnation, dreams denote the complete opposite, that is not stagnation. So that is why it easily counters stagnation, that is spoil. There's actually a reasoning behind how having dreams can counter it. That's so cool, actually. Is in some animes you have just like, oh, dream power, friend power, that kind of thing, without any reasoning. This at least has a reason, and it's a pretty damn like convincing reason that, yeah, since he denotes stagnation, he's spoiled. Since dreams denote the opposite of stagnation, that is being proactive, it can easily counteract spoil. And that is why anyone who has like dreams of the future, their timer goes up. Yeah, and that's literally what happens here. Why are you so attached to a body that won't even last a century on its own anyway? And Foucault says, because we have dreams. There you go. And we use them to pursue our dreams, no matter what the size. I'm not going to let some rule that you made wreck any of that. Even if my body were forced to spoil based on solely on your whims. Yeah, my dream is to become a normal girl and live my life to the fullest until my dying day. And Shen says, and okay, wait. Foucault's timer goes up to, I think, 20,000. Wait a minute, let me check. Yeah, 20,000. And since, like I said, since dreams and her hopes from dreams negated Spoil's power, the particles around her also gets dispersed, I'm guessing. That would be my guess. And then Shen comes in and whacks him on the head with a and he says, my dream is to be the greatest in all of creation. He wants to be the strongest or the ultimate like human being or something like that. So at first his timer is 999, lesser than Fuko. But then something weird happens. It starts going up. Then it turns into 10,000. And then it starts going even higher. 30, 40, 50. It keeps going. That was the weird part. How? So is his dream even more potent and even more grander and crazier than Fuko's? Because that's what it would mean, wouldn't it? Fuko was able to go up until 20,000. His goes even further beyond that. Like 50,000 and still counting up. So that's an interesting thing that we saw in the end. Anyways, next episode will probably answer our questions. That was a great episode, talking about death and spoil, stagnation, proactivity, dreams, very interesting episode. So that was it, guys. That was my reaction to episode number 7 of Undead Unluck. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Undead Unluck. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.